Imagine a world where every drop of sweat, every sleepless night, every sacrifice you've made in the name of hard work was nothing but a carefully crafted illusion, a seductive lie sold to you by those who benefit most from your blind obedience. What if the very virtue you've been taught to worship, hard work, is not the key to success but a distraction, a leash to keep you docile, striving but never truly arriving? This isn't just about effort or ambition. It's about power, who wields it, who hoards it, and who convinces you that you don't deserve it unless you bleed for it. Machiavelli, the infamous philosopher of realpolitik, saw through this centuries ago. He warned us that the world is not governed by fairness or merit, but by cunning, strategy, and the ruthless manipulation of perception. And yet, here we are, still chanting the mantra of hard work as if it were divine law, as if the universe hands out rewards based on moral effort. But what if the universe doesn't care? What if the game was rigged from the start, and hard work is just the opium of the masses, dulling the pain of exploitation with the false promise of eventual triumph? Let's peel back the layers of this deception, because what you're about to hear may shatter the foundation of everything you've been taught about success, about worth, about the very nature of power. And the last insight we'll uncover is the most dangerous of all. It will force you to question not just the system, but your own complicity in it. Machiavelli, the man whose name became synonymous with political ruthlessness, understood something most of us refuse to admit. Morality is a tool, not a truth. In The Prince, he didn't glorify hard work. He glorified results by any means necessary. The ruler who succeeds isn't the one who labors the hardest, but the one who manipulates perception, who knows when to act virtuous and when to strike without mercy. He saw that the world rewards not the toiler in the shadows, but the strategist in the light. Think about it. How many times have you watched someone less skilled, less diligent, climb past you simply because they knew how to play the game? How many hours have you wasted believing that effort alone would be enough, only to watch others reap the rewards you thought you deserved? This isn't bitterness, it's pattern recognition. It's the cold, unflinching realization that hard work in isolation is a trap. Machiavelli's warning echoes through history. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Notice he didn't say it is better to work harder. He understood that power isn't earned through sweat. It's seized through perception, through leverage, through the calculated projection of strength. The modern world, with its cult of productivity, has convinced you that exhaustion is a badge of honor. But ask yourself, who benefits from that belief? Who profits when you tie your self-worth to your burnout? Consider the billionaire who didn't build his empire on 80-hour work weeks, but on exploiting loopholes, lobbying laws, and inheriting wealth. Consider the artist who didn't rise to fame through sheer talent, but through connections, controversy, or the right algorithm at the right time. Hard work is often a footnote in their stories, not the headline. And yet we keep preaching it as the gospel, because admitting the truth would unravel the entire myth of meritocracy. But here's the uncomfortable question. What if hard work isn't the lie? What if you are? What if the real deception is the way you've internalized this belief, twisted it into a moral judgment, a way to blame yourself for every failure, every missed opportunity? If only I'd worked harder. If only I'd sacrificed more. This is the poison Machiavelli warned us about, the way power convinces the oppressed to police themselves. So let me ask you, when was the last time you questioned the rules instead of just following them? When was the last time you asked not, how can I work harder, but how can I work smarter? Or better yet, who decided this was the only way to win? The answer to that question will lead you to the heart of Machiavelli's lesson, the one they don't teach you in school. Power doesn't reward hard work. Power rewards those who understand power. And this is where our journey truly begins. Because the next insight will force you to confront not just the system, but your own role in it. It will ask you to choose. Will you keep playing the game by rules designed to keep you losing? Or will you learn the art of strategy, perception, and the quiet, ruthless intelligence that Machiavelli called virtù? The choice is yours. But remember, the greatest trick the powerful ever pulled was convincing you that hard work was the only path to success. And the moment you see through that trick, you'll never look at the world the same way again. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince to empower the common man. He wrote it for the rulers, the elites, the ones who understood that power is never given, only taken. And yet here we are, centuries later, still believing that if we just grind a little longer, hustle a little harder, the system will reward us. But what if the system was never built to reward you? What if it was built to extract from you? Consider the modern worker, burned out, indebted, chasing promotions like carrots on a stick, only to find that each rung climbed reveals another ladder above it. Meanwhile, the true architects of wealth sit in boardrooms, manipulating markets, lobbying for tax breaks, inheriting empires built on generations of exploited labor. They don't outwork you, they outthink you. They don't play by the rules, they rewrite them. Machiavelli warned us, the ends justify the means. But we've been fed a sanitized version of that truth, one where the ends are virtuous and the means are fair. The real world operates differently. The conquerors don't win because they're morally superior. They win because they're ruthless, because they see the chessboard while everyone else is still playing checkers. So ask yourself, how many of your struggles are actually tests of merit, and how many are simply rigged systems masquerading as fair competition? The college degree that costs a lifetime of debt, the job market that demands experience but denies entry, the housing market that skyrockets while wages stagnate. These aren't failures of your effort, they're features of a machine designed to keep you running in place. But here's the twist. The moment you realize the game is rigged is the moment you gain your first real advantage. Because Machiavelli's greatest lesson wasn't about power, it was about perception. The ability to see the strings, to recognize when you're the puppet and when you're the hand pulling the chords. Which leads us to the next question. If hard work is a lie, what's the truth? Machiavelli wrote that the ideal ruler must be both lion and fox, the lion to intimidate, the fox to evade traps. But the modern world has convinced you to be neither. It wants you docile, predictable, a beast of burden chasing carrots you'll never taste. Consider the fox. It doesn't waste energy fighting every battle or outworking its prey. It observes, adapts, strikes where the resistance is weakest. The fox knows that effort without strategy is noise, and yet society tells you to keep your head down, to labor in silence, to wait your turn. But the fox asks, who made the rules? Who benefits from your obedience? History is written by the victors, not the hardest workers. The artists we remember weren't always the most skilled. They were the ones who understood myth-making, who knew how to manipulate their own legacies. The entrepreneurs who change the game aren't the ones burning the midnight oil. They're the ones who redefine the rules, who turn weaknesses into leverage. Machiavelli's fox doesn't ask for permission, it doesn't seek validation. It moves in silence, seizes opportunity, and leaves the herd still grazing in the field. So ask yourself, are you working hard or working smart? Are you following a path or creating one? The answer will determine whether you end up a footnote or a force. They call it hustle culture, grind culture, the glorification of exhaustion as a badge of honor. But strip away the motivational slogans and what do you find? A religion, one where you are both the worshiper and the sacrifice, Machiavelli would have laughed at this. He knew that true power never comes from self-destruction. It comes from self-preservation. The prince who burns himself out is no prince at all. Yet here we are, addicted to the grind, mistaking motion for progress, fatigue for virtue. We've been sold the idea that suffering is noble. But ask yourself, who profits from your suffering? Who gets rich when you trade sleep for productivity, health for hustle, life for labor? The answer is the same as it was in Machiavelli's time, those already in power. Because the harder you work for their system, the less you question it. Machiavelli's final lesson wasn't about power, it was about freedom. The realization that the game only controls you if you believe in it. Stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for rewards. The true rebel doesn't break the rules. They ignore them. Work less. Think more. Move in silence. Strike where it matters. The lie of hard work dies the moment you stop playing by its rules. Now, go.